Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Rolling Feet Tales. If Japan is your dream destination and you're planning your trip there, you would not want to miss this video as we will be sharing not one, not 10, but 60 tips from our personal experience. So stay tuned and watch this video till end as we will be sharing where you should stay, how to commute, how to save money and time, and many handy tips which will make your trip memorable. So watch this video till end and do subscribe to our channel as we will be sharing many more such useful travel videos for you. Let's get started.
So first we will share top 10 things that you need to keep in mind before going to Japan. The first one is what is the best time to visit Japan. Japan, although you can visit all year long because it has really good nature vibes, but there are two peak seasons that you need to keep in mind. One is the spring season, which is cherry blossom time. This typically happens in the March and April month, which is currently right now. And then you have autumn season, which happens between October till December month. Do note that during these time it will be really peak time, and hence you can expect a lot of prices that will go up for hotel or excursion, everything else. Second, which is about forecast. Now Japan Meteorological Corporation publishes regularly about the cherry blossom forecast and as well as autumn forecast. So do keep those dates in mind, because depending on that you would want to change your plan or itinerary to get the maximum view of cherry blossom or autumn foliage.
Third one, which is very important, is Japanese vacation time. So there are 3 vacation times during a year which Japanese follow, and you would want to avoid during this period going to Japan, as most of the places will be closed and people will be enjoying their vacation. First is the Golden Week, which is from 29th April to 9th of May. Second will be the summer vacation time, which is from 10th of August to 18th of August. And the last one is the New Year holidays, which is like all across the world. People would want to enjoy with their family, and you would like to avoid that time going to Japan.
Now the fourth one is about Japan visa, how to get your multiple entry 5 years Japan visa to enjoy the cherry blossom as well as the autumn foliage. We ourselves got Japan 5-year tourism visa, and we have created a detailed video about it, and the link of which is here. Do check that out, because we have given a really good handy tips to get your visa as well. Now the fifth one is about registering yourself to Japan web, where you get to register all of your information. It's like before immigration, what you fill on a paper sheet, it's just that, but you fill it online and you get a QR code. Now this QR code at immigration really helps you, because you go pass the immigration and custom really quickly, because there is no question asked. You just scan the QR code and you're good to go. Now the sixth one is about what to pack on your Japan trip. So during cherry blossom time and autumn time, you will want to carry some warm clothes with you, because especially the morning and evening time will be a little colder. However, during the day it will be really pleasant, so you can wear whatever you want. There is no accessory restriction in Japan. However, just carry a couple of warm clothes and you'll be good to go.
Right. Coming to the 7th one, which is regarding the SIM. So you can get either physical SIM card or eSIM if you need only data. Physical SIM card you can get from big camera just the moment you land in airport, and at the arrival hall you can buy it. Or you can buy eSIM from Klook before coming to Japan, but you would need data there. No doubt there will be Wi-Fi everywhere, but still you need data badly in Japan. Coming to number 8, which is also very important, is regarding language barrier. So definitely you need a Google Translate app there, because if no doubt in terms of stations and I would say in every metro you would see English there, but when it comes to menu cards or when it comes to buying something from the convenience stores, it will be all in Japanese. So do keep the Translate app with you.
Now the ninth one is all about electronic appliances. So if you have your electronic appliances like a clothes steamer or hair straightener that is configured for 240 volt, which is in India, that will not work in Japan. Japan has a voltage supply of 110 volts only. So do check the label of your devices whether they support 110 to 240 volt range. Then only your devices will work in Japan. Otherwise they are going to be a dead weight for you. Now the 10th one. 10th one is the handy apps that you need to download before you arrive in Japan, because they are going to make your life a lot easier over there. The first one, as KB mentioned, is about Google Translate app, because that is really going to help you translate the restaurant menus or at the convenience store to look at the ingredients. The second one is the Klook app, because Klook app is not only going to save you a lot of time, but it is also going to save a lot of money for you. So the Klook app will help you book attraction tickets or entry to any of the temples, etc. Keep that in your phone. The third one is about going from point A to B, and for that Google Map will really come handy. Download that app, because it is going to tell you till the last mile how you need to how you would reach to point B. So all the metros, exit, all of those things, Google Map will come really handy. The fourth one is for vegetarians who are looking for veg food, because Japan could be little difficult for vegetarians. It is not that easy to find vegetarian food. So there is an app called Happy Cow. Download that, and what it will do is it will give you all the vegetarian options that restaurants are serving around you, so that you can easily locate one and go there and have your food. So keep these four apps downloaded on your phone before you arrive Japan.
Now let's talk about the second one, which is all about money. So these 8 tips are very important, so do not miss them. First one is currency. You need Japanese yen in Japan, because at temples or shrines or at small stores you would see only currency notes will get accepted. So do exchange your money. Second one is coins. Do keep coins with you, because at small stores it's only yen coins are accepted, or at some vending machines also. So coins gonna be your buddy there. So do keep them. Third is regarding exchange. You can of course use your travel card and withdraw cash from any ATM there, or you can exchange your money at downtown or in the city, or you can of course exchange it at the airport. What we saw, the rates were almost similar, so you can choose wherever you want to exchange your currencies.
Now the fourth one is about saving money while you purchase anything in Japan which is above 5,000 yen, which is roughly 2,500 rupees in India. So anything that you buy beyond that, you are eligible to get VAT refund of 10%. Yes. So what it does is that all of your let's say electronic devices, for example Apple devices, are a lot cheaper over there. So if you are planning to buy iPhone or Mac or anything else, do consider this in mind, because you instantly get 10% discount on the laptop prices or the iPhone prices.
Now the next tip is regarding saving money while booking tickets. So you would definitely want to book ticket on bullet train, which is Shinkansen in Japan, but you can save money there, and we'll tell you how. So during non-peak time you can book non-reserved seats which are cheaper as compared to the reserved seats, and this is how you can save money, because bullet train tickets can be expensive. But do keep in mind, during peak hours non-reserved seats are not available, so book your reserved tickets well in advance.
Now the next one is, while you are in, let's say, Kyoto, what Kyoto has is 1-day unlimited pass for tourists that you can purchase, and it will be definitely cheaper if you compare to, let's say, if you swipe your Suica card for each travel. So do buy that, because in Kyoto you will be going places which will be like a bit far from each other, and hence the ticket cost, metro cost will be really high. So go ahead and purchase the daily travel card, because we were there for 4 days and every day we would go and purchase the single like unlimited card for the day, and we will travel like anything.
And the best part is that it had both bus and the subway included, so you could choose whatever you want. And another tip which is very important, when you choose your destination and when you are traveling from point A to point B in Japan, there can be multiple ways to go there. There can be different trains which you can use to travel, right? But in then also you can save money. So for instance, if you are going from Kyoto to Nara, there is a limited express train and there is another train also. The time difference is hardly 20 minutes, but the money difference is higher.
A lot.
So in that case, just keep in mind, when you are choosing the selection options, you choose the options which are cheaper And you can look at the time difference also. So 20 minutes hardly make a difference, but saving 500 yen or 600 yen definitely makes a difference.
Now, the next 10 tips are about metro and the train system in Japan because it is really complex. So, keep these 10 tips in mind because it will make your life a lot easier. The first one is the Suka card. So Suka card is going to be your best friend when it comes to transport in Japan because this one card is accepted all over Japan. So once you buy this, you are sorted for entire Japan trip because it is also accepted not only in like transport, for example bus, metros, trains, but it is also accepted at many restaurants, convenience stores and all other places. So just get the Suka card. Related to this, the second tip is that you get your welcome Suka card, which is the tourist card at the airport itself, because you will not find this card anywhere else in Japan. So the moment you arrive at the airport, first thing what you need to do is to buy this card, and we have made a detailed video on this, so you'll find a link here where to purchase everything, but do carry the Suka card.
Now the third one is how to commute. Definitely everyone is aware of is JR pass, which you can buy, but it makes sense to buy JR pass if you are traveling to many cities like Kyoto, Tokyo, Hiroshima, Osaka. If you're covering these many cities, then only opt for JR pass because it has become expensive now. Else Suka card works very fine. You just book your ticket from point A to point B, and that's gonna be a cheaper option. And mind you, JR doesn't work on all the subways. We will be making a detailed video on this, so do subscribe to our channel because you do not want to miss that one, because it will tell you how you will save money and how you can commute in Tokyo or all over Japan. And the other tip is regarding time and punctuality. Do keep in mind, trains, metro are gonna be on time. So come there on time, else you will be missing your trains or metro, because everything is punctual in Japan. The next one is regarding public transport timing. So do keep that in mind if you are planning for nightlife in Shibuya or Shinjuku. The reason is the public transport or the metro system stops around midnight to early morning around 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. And during this period, you will not find any public transport, or you can only use taxi, which might be bit costlier. So you would rather spend your night in Shibuya or Shinjuku at karaoke bar, or you have to plan something else because you will not find any public transport during this window.
Now the next 3 tips are about luggage. If you're carrying a lot of luggage or let's say big suitcases, then keep in mind that in Shinkansen or the bullet train, you will not find a lot of places where you can keep your bags. So there will be some designated seats that will have also place to keep bag. So if you're traveling in bullet trains with an oversized bag, do reserve those seats because it will be super comfortable for you.
And those seats are generally at the end of the coach.
At the entry or exit of the coach, you will find these seats. Very limited seats, hence book in advance. The second thing is that if you're carrying your luggage in the metro within the city, then in that case try to avoid the peak hours, because in peak hour you will not find place where you can push your bag or keep your bag, because there will be a lot of people and it will be really hassle for you to take it out or get into the metro. The third thing about luggage is that if you're carrying a lot of luggage, then in that case it makes sense for you to use luggage service. Yes, there are companies who will take your luggage from point A and they'll deliver it to point B for a small fee. What it does is that you then travel very lightly and there is no problem of getting a seat or getting onto metro. So use this service if you are carrying a lot of luggage.
And do keep in mind, at some places, especially the city buses in Kawaguchiko area or Kyoto area, luggages are not allowed. So for instance, if you are traveling from Kyoto station to your B&B or hotel and you are planning to use this city bus, you might not be able to carry the luggage. So in that scenario, of course, this luggage facility helps, or you book a taxi or you go via subway.
Now, these next 2 tips are navigating inside the metro. The first one is the sign. Do follow the signs because it will help you get into the respective exit, because a metro station can have plenty of exits, and it's really super easy for you to get lost. So keep your eye on the signs and the markings, because that will really help you exit from the metro super quickly.
And the reason is that they have made these designated areas because the metros in Tokyo can get overcrowded, and they would just like if you are following the sign of up and down, and because that's how they maintain the sequencing there.
Right. The next one is about escalator, and this is not only true for metro but any other place where you find escalators. What you need to do is, if you're not like climbing up this escalators, you need to stand on the left side of the escalator, because the right side is used by those folks who are in hurry and they want to climb the escalator at the same time.
But this is in Tokyo, not in Osaka. Osaka is exactly opposite, that you have to stand on the right side so that the people who are in hurry can pass you from the left side.
Now the last one is about Mount Fuji view while you are traveling in the bullet train. Now if you're traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto, you will find after like 30 minutes of the travel time, you will find Mount Fuji view from your window. So in order to get that, what you need to do is book the seats that are on the left side of your the coach. Typically the number of that coach would be the seat would be E. So just look for that E seat and book that, because then you are at the window which will overlook the Mount Fuji on a very clear day. So keep that tip handy. Now the next 6 tips are about staying in Japan. In general, what you would want to do is to stay near metro station, because it will be really easy for you to get onto the metro from metro to hotel and hotel to metro. And especially in Tokyo, you can choose areas like Asakusa, which will give you a traditional feel or more religious feel. And if you want like nightlife, etc., then you should stay near Shinjuku area. And if you want like high-end hotels, then ideally you should stay near Tokyo metro station, because it has a lot of good hotels over there. When it comes to Kyoto, you should ideally stay near Kyoto metro stations, because of the lot of connectivity for different attractions that you will have in Kyoto. Or if you want to take Japanese tradition vibe, then you should choose Gion area, because it will have a lot of traditional hotels that will give you a real good vibe of Japan. Now the second tip is about room sizes. Do note that in Japan you will not find big rooms. It will be very small rooms and you will be expected to fit in there. So for example, the hotel that we booked, it was like only good enough for us, and the luggage we had to keep below the bed. So this is like a typical thing in Japan. So be mentally ready to sleep in a very small rooms.
Third one is actually GK's favorite.
And why it is favorite? Because Japan toilets are to the next level. So if you come from India, you know that you are used to jet spray, etc. But what Japan does is it takes it to next level, where obviously you get jet spray, but what you also get is a lot of buttons that will like you press the button and it will clean you, it will dry you, and at the end of the day it will also emit some fragrance. So it's like a whole kind of experience that you would get while you are in Japan. You will love the toilet, you will fall in love, and also all the metros will have these facilities. So it's like wherever you are, you can experience this toilet in Japan.
And plus you need not to pay for these toilets.
Now next 2 tips are about booking your stay in advance, because in general there will be limited supply of hotels and Airbnbs. So book your accommodations well in advance, because it will really get sold out quickly, and the areas that you are looking for, you might not get hotels in those areas, and you will have to choose something which is like further from the city center.
Especially in Kawaguchiko area where you get Mount Fuji views, generally the places get sold very quickly there. So if you are planning to stay in Kawaguchiko area and not doing a road trip or a day trip from Tokyo to Mount Fuji views, so I think you should book your stay well in advance, especially in Kawaguchiko area.
And then the next tip is about keeping peak season in mind, because like cherry blossom and autumn season are the peak seasons, and obviously expect that hotel prices will be at least 1.5x of the normal price. Hence, book well in advance. Otherwise, for the same hotel, you will have to pay a higher price. But I think in general, cherry blossom and autumn is expensive season, so keep that in mind. And the last one is about luggage. So let's
Again.
say yes, because if you carry luggage from point A to point B, then you have the hassle of checking in, checking out, keeping your luggage at the hotel, etc. All of those things. So our advice would be to stay, let's say, at one place and do day trips so that it is really easy and convenient for you. For example, from Tokyo, we did a lot of one-day trip, for example, to Mount Fuji, to Mount Takao, to Kamakura, etc. So all of these places can be covered in a one day. So keep your base in Tokyo and just cover these because it will be super convenient and easy for you, and it will save time and hassle for you to carry the luggage and go to that place, spend one night, and again come back. Believe me, just do away with all of these things, stay at one place and do day trips. Now the next 11 tips are about Japanese culture that you should follow if you want to be the number one tourist in Japan. The first one is about tipping. In Japan, tipping is strictly no. You should not tip any amount to any of the Japanese people because they find it very rude. So even if, let's say, at the restaurant, if you left some money for the waiter, they'll chase you with that money and they'll give it back to you. So let's not give any tips or any you should not be tipping in Japan.
And what they expect from you is just a simple thank you, which they say in a very sweet manner is arigato gozaimasu. That is the only thing you have to do.
Right. Now, the second one, then in that case, becomes there are some words that you should learn because it will really make Japanese people really happy and they'll welcome you. The first one, as KB said, is arigato gozaimasu, which is thank you in Japanese. The second one is sumimasen, which is like excuse me. So if you are sitting in a restaurant or if you want to call anybody, you just say sumimasen. So keep couple of these words handy. You can learn that on the web and use it, and you would find that many people will use there. So it's really handy that you should know these words.
And the third one is Japanese people do not like if you talk loudly on mobile phones. So while traveling in metros or trains, do ensure that you are not using mobile phones and not speaking so loudly on your phone. So that's you should avoid it.
And also keep your mobile in silent mode because in Japanese metro or train anywhere you will not find mobile phones ringing like on a very loud tone. It'll always be vibrate mode. So just keep that in mind because it's kind of appreciated in Japan.
However, you will see everyone carrying their phone and they will be watching it, but all silently.
Now the next two tips are again related to metros because let's say if you're traveling metro with your friends or family, try to keep the voice very minimal and you should not be speaking loudly with each other because at times we do not think of surrounding and this becomes like a nuisance for maybe other folks. So just keep that in mind. The next one is about playing loud music. Even if you are listening through AirPod or earphones, at times if you are listening at high volume, the music will go out. So keep that in mind. Yeah, let's little stricter, but this is what it is. If you follow this, people will be really happy around you.
Right. And in metros, do not eat or drink. It's strict no there. So do not drink. Even while walking also, they do not like. So if you are eating, just eat at one place. That's what is accepted there.
The next one is about mask. Even though COVID is in past, but in Japan people wear mask. And let's say even if you have like slight cold or cough, do wear a mask because if you are not wearing mask and coughing and sneezing, it's really you will be stared upon and at some point of time somebody will ask you to wear a mask. So keep that in mind. The next one is about dustbins. You will not find dustbins, especially in cities like Tokyo. You will not find any public dustbin, and hence what you need to do is carry your own bag where you can put all your things that you need to discard and bring it back to your hotel, and you can discard it over there because dustbins are not publicly available in Tokyo or for that matter anywhere in Japan.
The next one is regarding smoking. So public smoking is not appreciated in Japan. So there are some dedicated places there only you can do smoking. So do keep that in mind if you are a smoker.
The next tip is about payment. So when you are making a payment to the cashier or at the counter, whoever is the person, you should, whenever if you have a cash or credit card, there will be a tray at the counter. You will have to put your card or cash in the tray for the cashier to pick it up. So it's not a good sign over there when you simply hand the money to the next person. You need to put it in a tray, and from there they pick it up, and whatever is the change they'll put back into the tray, and you are supposed to take from the tray. There is no direct exchange of money from hand to hand. Yes. So now the last one is about being respectful when it comes to queue. Yes, in Japan you will find everywhere there will be a queue system, whether it is Starbucks or restaurants, people will be standing in queue, and hence you are not supposed to cut queue at any point of time, because they do not like it if you cut the queue, and somebody will come and point you out and you will be again back to the queue. So like save some embarrassment for yourself and be into the queue as per your position.
The next one is all about food. The first one is you will find non-vegetarian food everywhere in Japan, especially in street food, and you will love them. But for vegetarian food, that like we said earlier, just download Happy Cow and you will get it. However, if you go to 7-Eleven or other convenience store, you will find other vegetarian options. But for vegetarian, you might have to struggle a bit, but it's not like that you won't find it. Second one is regarding vending machines. So every 100 to 200 meters, you will find a vending machine in Japan, and it will give you everything, be it a hot drink or a cold drink or a fresh juice, snacks. You will get everything from a vending machines there. So that is what we also loved.
And because of that, our food expense was a lot, because vending machine, wherever we will find vending machine, we'll just tap our Suka card and let's say get the hot coffee, or at times like a cold drink or anything that we want, right? Next tip is about restaurants. So in Japan, especially in Tokyo, Kyoto, etc., the restaurants will have like a reservation system. So if you want to go to a good place and eat a fancy meal, make sure that you make reservations, otherwise you're not going to get a table and it will be really difficult for you. The next tip is related to this. So if you, let's say by any chance, if you are cancelling or you need to change time, do call up the restaurants, because reserving and not turning up is really treated as a bad gesture over there. So do keep that in mind. If you have cancellation, just call them up and cancel. They'll be happy to cancel it. Next thing important to restaurant itself is that value time. Japanese people value time a lot, and hence they do not like if you arrive too late for your reservation. So just try to be early, like 5 or 10 minutes early, and if they will have table, they will happily accommodate you. Otherwise, at the time that they have given you, they will ensure that you get your table. So keep that in mind and respect the culture over there.
The next two tips are regarding water. First one, that the water in Japan, especially the tap water, is drinkable. So you need not to spend money on mineral waters or a bottled water. Second one is ice cold water. Wherever you go in restaurants, whatever you eat, you will find only ice cold water there. So if you do not like ice cold water and you are not habitual to it, either get the habit built or ask them to give you a normal water, which is a bit hard to find, but that's how it is there. The next 7 tips are all about sightseeing. So during peak season, Japan can get overcrowded and you can see everything all sold out. So in this case, what you have to do is you should book all the attractions and whatever experiences you want to do well in advance. For instance, Shibuya Sky tickets gets open like a month in advance. We didn't get our tickets because we wanted to visit that place to chase sunset, but we didn't get any tickets. So book them well in advance. You book tickets for your Planet Labs, Disneyland. If you wish to go there, book them. Like I mentioned, book them well in advance.
And related to crowd, so because there will be a lot of crowd, a lot of tourists will be there, and during the peak seasons, what you will have to do is to get become like early riser, because if you do not do that, you will find a lot of people at the tourist places, and you might not like it. So in our case, even though we are not early risers, we used to put alarms to get up early, and especially in Kyoto, etc. For example, Fushima Inari and Arishiyama Bamboo Forest, all of these places get super crowded even if you go at as early as, let's say, 9 a.m. So we usually were there at these places at like 7 a.m. in the morning, and trust us, we've got like very good videos and photos of ourselves with like literally no crowd over there. So keep that in mind. Third tip is that you will be walking a lot, and by walking we mean that in our trip our average step count was 30,000 plus. Yes, but I would say that it's a very enjoyable walk. So do enjoy the walk over there. However, do carry comfortable shoes, because if you do not have comfortable shoes at the end of the day, you will not like the pain in your legs. So carry a comfortable shoe, wear that, and walk as many places as you can.
So there are gonna be stairs, and if you are not so good with the physical activity, because there are gonna be stairs involved at each and every place, so then either you plan or you ditch that place, or you go via taxi or something, whatever is comfortable.
So even the metro stations will not have escalators. All except few major stations, you will find all the metro stations will have stairs that will go to the underground, like -1, -2, but all via stairs. So keep in mind, don't carry heavy luggage. We would recommend just carry light luggage and then travel, because then it will be really helpful for you.
Now the next tips are regarding Mount Fuji, which is one of the reason I would say people go to Japan, and I would say that the trip to Japan is incomplete if you haven't seen the Mount Fuji, right? The Fuji sun. But for that you have to, there are two tips what we should say. That one is, do keep a tab on the webcam website. The link is mentioned in our description. That shows you, that live camera shows you the images, how whether Mount Fuji is visible or not. So check that and then only plan your trip, so that you have a probability of seeing Mount Fuji. Do note, Mount Fuji is visible only 80 days in a year.
So rest of the days you will find it will be cloudy, because the clouds will usually be around Mount Fuji, and on a cloudy day, if you can't see Mount Fuji, then the whole trip from, let's say, Tokyo to Mount Fuji will go for a waste. So for us, we had, let's say, booked on one day the Mount Fuji trip, but in the morning what we saw was that there were a lot of clouds. So we ditched that day, we cancelled our tickets, and then we booked for the next day, because next day the prediction was that it is going to be sunny, and by God's grace it was sunny, and we saw Mount Fuji in its full glory. Yeah. So do keep that in mind.
And just adding to that, there's another tip here, that you should see Mount Fuji in the morning, because morning is the time when there are less crowd. During the day clouds come and then it covers the Mount Fuji area, so you will not have chances of seeing Mount Fuji during the second half of the day. So plan your trip in such a manner that you are able to go there by first half and you can get to see the Mount Fuji.
Okay, so the last tip in this section is about queues. Yes, we talked about the queue culture, that people do not like how if you cut the queue. But in Japan, in general, for all the major places, you will find a very big or long queue, and it can add on easily. It will add on to your overall waiting time. So let's say you plan to, let's say, go to team labs, for example, and then you said that okay, within half an hour you will, or within 1 hour you will complete the activity and come out. Might not be the case, because the waiting time could be as high as, like, say, 1 hour. So easily it will become like a 2-hour activity. So keep that in mind when you're planning your day-to-day activity, because a lot of places you are going to find queue and you cannot avoid that.
So these are total 59 tips, or we can say things you should know.
And if you have made till this far, do subscribe to our channel, because it will be a huge encouragement for us that we curated 60 tips for you, just for you, so that your Japan trip is more memorable.
So with this, we forgot to tell you 60th tip, which is, do go to Japan. Don't miss this incredible country.
Yes, because you are going to love the Japan trip. This is going to be one of the memorable trip of your life. Trust us, guys. We went there in autumn season, and we definitely want to go again in cherry
And we are
blossom
planning
season.
it again.
Because we have 5 years visa, we plan to fully utilize the visa and go to Japan in
Again.
let's say all the seasons that are there. We want to definitely cover Japan. So hope you liked our video and all the 60 tips. Do share it with someone who would benefit from this, and do give us a thumbs up if you liked the video.
And do not forget to subscribe us, because we will be sharing more videos and travel itinerary, travel cost gonna be coming soon. So stay tuned.